Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today I will analyze the case of Monica Sementilli. First, I'll look at the background of this case, move to the timeline of the crime, then offer my analysis. Monica Sementilli was born on January 10, 1972, and lived in Toronto, Canada. She met a celebrity hairstylist named Fabio Sementilli and did modeling for him. Fabio was married and had a son named Luigi. Fabio and Monica became romantically involved, and Fabio divorced his wife. In 1997, Monica and Fabio married. They had 2 children together, Jessica and Isabella. In 2007, Fabio was hired as the vice president of education for a beauty products company. The family moved to California and eventually lived in a 3,600 square foot 4-bedroom house on Queen Victoria Road in Woodland Hills. In 2016, Monica started having an affair with her racquetball instructor. His name was Robert Louis Baker. Robert was almost 10 years older than Monica. He had once worked as a performer in clothing-challenged films. Robert also had a criminal record. In 1993, he was convicted of an offense related to sex and had to register as an offender of the sexual variety. Nothing says trustworthy like a man whose romantic history comes with a court-mandated warning label. However, maybe Monica viewed this as a positive. Their relationship was extremely focused on sex. For example, the couple exchanged many images featuring a pronounced deficit of apparel. Now moving to the timeline of the crime. On January 23, 2017, at 4:54 p.m., Fabio Sementilli was found dead, slumped in a chair in his backyard by his 16-year-old daughter Isabella. She immediately called 911 and reported the gruesome discovery. Here is what the police found during the course of their investigation. Fabio had been stabbed 7 times while he was in the backyard of his house watching television. His $8,000 Rolex watch was still on his wrist. The house had a security system comprising 4 exterior-mounted cameras. None of those cameras covered the backyard. The DVR from the security system was missing. No murder weapon was recovered, but the police did find blood at the crime scene. The police initially suspected that the murders were carried out by burglars who had been operating in the area, but eventually they focused on Monica and Robert. They learned about the affair. On the day of the murder, video surveillance from a neighbor's house captured Monica leaving her street in her Ford F-150 pickup truck at 3:26 p.m. She parked in a remote area of a Target store parking lot in Woodland Hills at 3:30 p.m., like she was far away from the door. It appeared as though someone entered her vehicle. The police suspected this person was Robert. After this person exited Monica's vehicle at 3:37 p.m., Monica moved her truck closer to the Target store. She entered the store at 3:38 p.m. 2 minutes later, Monica texted her daughter Jessica and told her not to be late for her babysitting job. Jessica left the family house at 3:47 p.m. At this point, Fabio was alone in the backyard. His other daughter, Isabella, was at school. At about 4 p.m., Monica used her cell phone to connect with the IP address that was associated with her house. She downloaded a significant quantity of data. The police believed that she had accessed the video surveillance system. At 4:18 p.m., 2 mysterious figures could be seen jogging on Oakdale Avenue and turning left on Queen Victoria Road. This intersection is just 133 feet from Fabio's house. Both the people look like men, and they were clearly trying to disguise their identities. The police believe these 2 men were the killers. At 4:36 p.m., Monica left the Target store and drove about a mile to another store in Woodland Hills. At 4:53 p.m., Fabio's 2008 Porsche 911 could be seen leaving his street. By this point, he was already dead. The killers were driving his vehicle. The Porsche was later found parked 5 miles away. As I mentioned, Isabella discovered her father's body at 4:54 p.m. At 5:03 p.m., Monica arrived at the family house. The police learned that Monica's boyfriend, Robert, had a cut on his finger. Later, the blood found at the crime scene was matched to Robert. This was not particularly surprising. The police now knew that one of the men seen jogging toward Fabio's house was Robert, but they still did not know the identity of the other man. Investigators also did not know if Monica was involved in the conspiracy. Did Robert and the other man kill Fabio at Monica's direction, or did they act independently of Monica? Instead of immediately arresting Robert, the police followed both him and Monica around town, looking for evidence of a conspiracy. The couple spent a tremendous amount of time together, including going on vacations. They were obsessed with each other. Monica did not appear to be heartbroken about Fabio's death. She had moved on even before he was murdered. On June 14, 2017, Monica and Robert were arrested and charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. They were placed in the same police vehicle so the police could record any conversation they may have. Robert told Monica to deny everything and to follow the protocol. Monica was crying hysterically. Getting arrested for murder was not as much fun as she expected. She told Robert that somebody must have said something. The state of California assumed that Robert Baker was going to take his case to trial, especially considering the severity of the charges. In a very surprising move, he went in a completely different direction. In 2023, Robert Baker pleaded no contest to murder and conspiracy to commit murder. His sentence was a term of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Robert claimed that Monica was not involved in Fabio's murder whatsoever. He said, quote, "I murdered him because I wanted her. She had nothing to do with it," unquote. In October 2024, the police discovered that a Washington state resident named Christopher Austin was the man who helped Robert murder Fabio. He was identified due to social media activity made by Robert. Christopher admitted to killing Fabio. He pleaded no contest to second-degree murder in early 2025. He is facing 16 years to life in prison when he is sentenced. In January 2025, Monica's trial started. On April 11, 2025, Monica Sementilli was convicted of murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Her sentencing is scheduled for June 23, 2025. Monica is facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now moving to my analysis. Monica Sementilli maintains her innocence, and she has a substantial number of supporters. They argued that Monica did have an affair with Robert, but all her deception was related to concealing that affair. Robert murdered Fabio on his own in order to be with Monica, just like he said. The state, of course, disagrees. They believe Monica and Robert conspired to kill Fabio in order to get his money. This brings me to the question, was Monica guilty of murder? Let's take a look at the evidence both for and against the idea that she was guilty, starting with the inculpatory factors. Monica had a lot to gain financially by killing Fabio, including a $1.6 million payout from his life insurance. There is no question that Monica was having an affair with Robert Baker. The affair was characterized by immaturity, obsessiveness, and an overwhelming and intense interest in sex. In the year leading up to the murder, Monica called Robert 9,000 times, and he called her 17,000 times. These two were preoccupied with strong emotions, consistent with making impulsive decisions. The couple was planning a future together, and of course Fabio was standing in their way. On June 28, 2016, which was about 6 months before the murder, Monica forwarded an email to Robert containing information about her video surveillance system, including her password, which was 1111. This reminds me of the movie Spaceballs, where the combination for the president's luggage was 12345. That password is sophisticated compared to Monica's. Using an encrypted messaging app, Monica and Robert exchanged 180 messages on the day before the murder and 95 messages on the day of the murder. Based on the timeline of Fabio's homicide, it seems like Monica was trying to create an alibi. Conveniently, she left her house not long before her husband's murder and returned just 9 minutes after her daughter discovered Fabio's body. When Monica was in the Target store, her phone connected to an IP address associated with her house, and a large amount of data was downloaded. This makes it seem like she was connected to her video surveillance system. Throughout the investigation, Monica repeatedly lied to the police and to others. 4 months after Fabio's murder, when Monica was interviewed by investigators, she pretended like she did not know Robert's last name. And she claimed she did not know how to access her video surveillance system using her cell phone. Monica repeatedly called the police and complained that she was not cleared as a suspect because this delayed the insurance payout. She told them that she was running out of money, yet she was taking vacations with her boyfriend Robert, and she leased a Ford Mustang GT. Monica did not appear to be upset by her husband's brutal murder and said she was focused on spending time with her lover Robert. During Fabio's funeral, she exchanged text messages containing sexual content with Robert, including images where she was not wearing clothing. During the murder, Robert and Christopher removed the DVR for the video surveillance system from Fabio's house. The DVR was not in an easy-to-find location. Perhaps they found it because Monica told Robert where it was. Monica never had the video surveillance system repaired, despite the fact that she continued to live in the house with her daughters. Maybe she failed to do this because she knew the identity of the killer and realized there was nothing to fear. After Monica was arrested, she was informed that Robert's blood had been found at the crime scene. Instead of being shocked and disgusted that her boyfriend killed her husband, Monica tried to explain the presence of his blood by saying that Robert had injured his finger playing racquetball. Even after being placed in jail, Monica continued her relationship with Robert. They communicated frequently, including by leaving encrypted notes in a stairwell for the other to find. Monica told Robert, "If there is more evidence, we're blanked." She also said, "I'm denying everything except our affair." This makes it seem like there was something more than the infidelity, perhaps the murder. For his part, Robert directed Monica to stick with the program. This statement is consistent with a conspiracy involving a serious offense, not an effort to hide an affair. Infidelity is not a crime. Moving to the exculpatory factors, Robert Baker said that Monica was not involved in Fabio's murder. Christopher Austin testified against Monica, but he admitted that he never had any contact with her. All his directives came from Robert. The police believe that Monica connected to her video surveillance system when she was in the Target store, but they don't know that for sure. Maybe she was streaming a movie. Monica was deceptive with the police and with other people, but maybe she was simply trying to conceal the affair. If Monica was in a conspiracy with Robert to kill Fabio, ensuring Fabio was alone in the house would have been a primary goal. Monica's daughter Jessica left the house at 3:47 p.m. on the day of the murder, yet Monica never shared that information with Robert. Furthermore, Isabella arrived at the house just 1 minute after Robert and Christopher left in the Porsche 911. Monica could have easily delayed Isabella's arrival. Why did Monica take a chance that Isabella would walk in while the homicide was in progress? Robert had the password to the video surveillance system, but there was no evidence he ever downloaded the app on his phone. When considering all the evidence in this case, do I believe that Monica Sementilli was guilty of murder? Yes, I am convinced of her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It is difficult to believe that Robert killed Fabio on his own, and then Monica just happened to be fine with the murder. Like, from her perspective, it all worked out perfectly. She didn't plan on Fabio being killed or anything, but she was happy with the outcome just the same. It's more likely that she directed Robert to kill Fabio. They were in a conspiracy. What do I think happened in this case? This is just a theory, my opinion. When Monica met Fabio in Toronto, he was married to his first wife. It's not clear if Fabio's romantic relationship with Monica started before Fabio divorced, but some people believe it did. If this is true, it means that the relationship between Fabio and Monica was born of infidelity and doomed from the start. In California, Fabio enjoyed incredible success as a hairstylist turned executive. His life had a number of highlights, both literally and figuratively. No matter how well Fabio styled the future, he couldn't straighten out Monica. His success afforded her a life of luxury, but apparently that was not enough. When Monica met Robert, they fell madly in love. They shared a number of characteristics. For example, they were both self-centered, impulsive, immature, irresponsible, manipulative, deceptive, sadistic, and had a sense of entitlement. Their torrid love affair involved an intense focus on sex the entire time. Nothing else mattered to them. In order to keep the party going, They needed Fabio out of the way and money. This led to the conspiracy to commit murder. Monica did not realize how suspicious her relationship with Robert was. She did not understand how the outside world viewed her treachery. If Monica and Robert wanted to get away with the murder, they should have stayed away from each other for a long time afterward. Instead, they spent all their time together. Monica felt extremely secure. One thing was for certain, in her mind, she was never going to be arrested. When Monica was arrested, she immediately thought that someone must have betrayed her. It never occurred to her that her lack of grieving was a dead giveaway. Amazingly, the arrest wasn't the wake-up call one would expect. Monica continued having contact with Robert. This created more evidence against her. When she was convicted, Monica was once again taken off guard. But this outcome was expected. Monica's lack of insight is what created the persistent pattern in her life of never-ending surprises. Those are my thoughts on the case of Monica Sementilli. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you soon.